Estás viendo Canal América, televisión dominicana para el mundo.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your fears.
Welcome to A Time for Truth show. I'm your host, Dr. Bernard Fialkov, and it's a pleasure to have you back on the show with us. And many of you have been writing in and asking how you can get previous episodes, programs, segments. Very simple. You go on YouTube and you subscribe at A Time for Truth show, and you will be able to view the previous shows and become part of our program. And today we have a very special segment because it deals with youth. It deals with how to get them stable, how to get them going in the right path. Because, you know, we look at what's going on and sometimes they grow, and as they're growing, they're being exposed to different elements and they can take wrong turns. And when they do, you get criminality, you get delinquency, you get drug addiction. And if we can prevent that, it would be very, very important. It's a very important program that's going to be happening this summer. And to that end, I want to introduce you to our guest tonight in Buddha. If you put him up on the screen, and his pictures, Mr. Born M. Allah, an actor, comedian, filmmaker, writer, author, TV producer, humanitarian, and community sports and education activist. And there you see him on the screen. Mr. Allah is commissioner of the Dreamshooters and founder of Born Master ENT. He has written, directed, produced, and starred in such films as Stick Up Kid, The Legend of Sean James, and Sociopath. He studied at the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts in New York City. And his credits include Cosby, Saturday Night Live, MTV's Pootie Tang promo, King Lear at the Classical Theater of Harlem, Euripides Media, and the lead role in Judgment Day, Life and Afterlife of Tupac Shakur. And there you see him as Globetrotter, Dr. Heal the Ankle, and he'll tell you more about that. In the past 10 years, Born has annually met with major networks such as NBC, CBS, ABC, HBO, MTV, Lifetime, and Warner Brothers. All that to coordinate his TV projects of many diverse projects, topics, talent, and subject matters. There you see him. And Buddha, if you can bring him up on the screen live, I want to bid a warm welcome to Mr. Born M. Allah. Welcome to A Time for Truth show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, you know, and I'm looking to getting right into it. But I wanted to ask you a few questions first. Is what inspired you to pursue an artistic career?
Okay, well, the arts have always been very, very important to me since a child. An avid television watcher, movie watcher, always loved movies, and they've impacted my life in many ways, not just for entertainment and escapism, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot through television and through film. And as a kid who maybe watched a little too much television than I should have, it actually made me more well-rounded as a person. So I've always, since a youth, been someone who loved the writing and performing. I would do my creative writing courses in school, and the other students would love what I presented, and they would wait for me to present my story. So I knew that I was a storyteller. And in church, as a young age, doing church plays and, taking on roles, I knew it was a way for me to express myself and a way for me to communicate, for me to help change ideas about a thing or expand ideas about a thing. So I realized this is something that I must do, that if I was blessed with the gift and the passion and love to do it, then I could use it not just to provide escapism and entertainment, but also a way for people to learn things and experience other cultures and ways of life.
Absolutely. Very important, because, with what's going on in the world, what you're talking about would be very therapeutic for people to realize other points of view, other cultures. You're so right. And what I wanted to ask you is, as an actor, and as you've been mentioning it, as a filmmaker, what do you feel has impacted you? You talked a little bit about this, but what has impacted you the most in all these things?
Well, when you look at film, the importance of someone being able to bring a slice of life that either one you relate to or that you don't relate to. I remember being a little boy going to the movie, sometimes by myself. My mother would drop me off at the movie theater, and I would go and watch movies all day by myself. And I remember seeing Spike Lee. I saw Do the Right Thing. I was a little boy in a movie theater. And I remember it was like a slice of my neighborhood coming to screen. And then on the other hand, I could go see something done by, let's say, Martin Scorsese or even Steven Spielberg and get a slice of life that I didn't know about, or a slice of life that I didn't necessarily see in my neighborhood, but I could find how, my neighborhood could relate to other people's neighborhood. And you see the humanity in all life, even if it's different. So film is able to do that, where sometimes we become stuck, for lack of a better term, or trapped in our own communities, sometimes by choice, sometimes by lack of resources. And we don't see the world, as a whole. And to be able to be given that slice of life through filmmakers and other people's vision, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. It is so important to have that tie and have that integration, affinity to something, and that's important to someone and to everybody, really. It's their foundation. So how, I'm just curious, because I know you're a commissioner of the Dreamshooters. So how and why did you decide to take on this role and, with the Dreamshooter? What's the purpose of this?
Right. Well, I've been working with Mr. Arnold Penix, a.k.a. A. Gregory Harris, for many years. And I've seen the impact that he has on the lives of young people. I traveled the boroughs, all 5 boroughs with him, doing his drug-free recruiter show back in 2001. And I played a character in that show, and we would go to different neighborhoods, and I would see how the youth would respond. And this was an outreach program to encourage youth to stay off drugs, and with the Black Sitcom Institute, using comedy to help reduce stress in high-risk areas. And not only would I see how it would impact the young people in the neighborhoods that we would go to and perform these drug-free shows for, but how some of the adults or young adults who had been in his program maybe a decade prior, how they would come up to him and thank him and do the drug-free salute that he would do for the children. And it really impacted them. And I could see firsthand that it actually helped people stay on the right path and make better choices in life. So I was able to see that firsthand, his work. So when he presented this to me, it was a no-brainer because I've already been working with him for years. I've seen the impact his work has in the community, in the neighborhood. So I said, this is just an extension of what he does. And I knew this would be very impactful to use a sport like basketball, which is one of my loves. I played basketball all my life, still a very big fan of basketball. I still play regularly. And to use that spirit of competition and fitness and sportsmanship and convert it into academia for the children, I thought it was a wonderful blend.
Well, you know, I think it's a beautiful thing, and I love basketball. And Buddha, do you have his video? I want to play, you know, Bourne's video. Do you have it ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's play it for the audience.
Once again, this is Bourne and Mallah, founder and CEO of Bourne Master Entertainment, Nation Business Builders, and Nation Business Builders Group, and also the proud commissioner of the King Dreamshooters. And one of the goals that we have at the King Dreamshooters is for young people to shoot for their dreams and goals. So right now we have one of the King Dreamshooter All-Stars, and he's going to tell you a little something about his dreams and goals in life.
I'm a young entrepreneur and a graphic designer, and you can find me at Creative by CG on Instagram.
That was one of our King Dream Shooting All-Stars. So let's go to another one of our little brothers so you can see what our future is made of.
One of my goals is to become an investor. I want to invest into the stock market, cryptocurrency, etc.
As you can see with the King Dream Shooters, our future is very secure. So again, I look forward to seeing you at a city, at a court near you.
Yeah,
I loved it.
that was
I saw the
that
video.
shot was one take.
Beautiful. I loved it. And, you know, I look forward to this in the summertime, you know, because I direct Drug Free World drug education program. And Mr. Pinnix, who's the director of NAN Arts Theater and his Arnold's Army Against Drugs and so much. He does so many things, really. He's amazing. And this 1 in a million that he came up with for Garvey Park with you as commissioner of Dreamshooters. So tell us a little bit about that. What's going to be happening this summer at Garvey Park with the Dreamshooters, with, you know, with him, with the Drug Free World. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's about, you know, recruiting the youth and building this team, the King Dreamshooters, and having them be able to, you know, not just meet at Marcus Garvey Park, but also travel to other locations throughout the country, ultimately, where they'll be playing opponents and sometimes their arch rivals, which are the community invaders, which is a team that's symbolic for all the distractions that youth are going to have, whether it's, you know, drugs and peer pressure and crime and all the things that they should stay away from so they can be focused on the way to really focus and shoot for their dreams in life. So the Dreamshooters is a team we're recruiting, and we're going to use, again, athleticism and fitness and sports and basketball as a way to prepare them for the mental fitness of academia and the drive and the passion and the competitiveness that we use for sports. We're going to channel that into academics and shooting for your goals in life. Not everyone is going to make it to the NBA or play sports professionally. Some will, but many more won't. But we can channel that passion and that love for the sport into all the various different areas in life that can also be surrounded around the sport, from you know, physicians and sports agents, attorneys, accountants. So many different career paths that you can use and still be connected to professional sports, professional basketball, even the NBA, but which academia will help you get to. And it's for whatever goal and dream that you choose to shoot for. We use, again, the competitive sport to channel that focus, that drive, so we can get down to the books, to the study, and have a balance between the physical fitness and the mental fitness.
Absolutely. I agree with you. In fact, it's funny. That's why I loved your video, because I've had the same philosophy with a group that I'm actually in collaboration with, which are called the World Conference of Mayors, run by Johnny Ford. And we had a basketball game and down in Tuskegee, Alabama. And what happened, the mayors played each other, and we had uniforms that, you know, I've sponsored through Drug Free World, and we had a great time. And Robert Hunter, who's, you know, former Globetrotter, was down there, and, you know, he was acting as the coach. And, you know, I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I guess I'm a good example of how through academics, I got to meet Bobby Hunter, and I've gotten to meet other people like Dale Ellis, Dale Davis, and you know, I would never have met otherwise, and we're helping the community. So you're so right, and I think that these programs that we're going to be doing, we can kind of collaborate and partner. And I see also you have a role within the Globetrotters. I see you had this doctor. You had this doctor get up. So, and you told me there's a name to this, right? What's your name?
Yeah, Dr. Broke Ankles. That's the character I play. Yes, touring with the world's famous Harlem Globetrotters. And I played a character, Dr. Broke Ankles, which is a doctor / attorney. So not only can he fix you up if you get hurt on the court, but he can get you paid if, you know, you have a lawsuit. He's also an undertaker, because at the end of the game, if there's no saving you, listen, we could put you under. But one of the benefits of traveling with the Harlem Globetrotters is the fact I was able to see how many people, how many areas and professions that it actually take to pull something like that off, a traveling basketball team. So you have the athletes and the sports stars, those that are gifted, those that are talented, genetically gifted as well. But it takes so much of a bigger team. In fact, there's more people behind the scenes and on the side than there actually are players, from all of the agents and tour managers. And again, you know, the accountants, the attorneys, the physicians, the personal trainers. There's so many different professions and things that we need within the sciences, within finance, within engineering, that our youth can be a part of to have something like this be very successful. So I've had the benefit of watching it firsthand, being able to travel with the world famous Harlem Globetrotters.
You know, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I remember watching a video that was with Muhammad Ali, and he actually was saying something similar. And what he says is, you know, I've made it, but you know what? It takes a lot. You can get injured. You may not make it. You may make it part of the way. You may never see any opportunity at all. And so he said, you know, go to, like you were saying, go to school, get your academic foundation, you know, pursue your dreams, but make sure you get your education. And it's very interesting hearing the same thing from you, because, you know, when you take someone who has made it to such a high level and they're telling you this, you know, I think that message is very important to listen to. And so that later on in life, you know, we can have not only that specific person, but the whole community can be prosperous and safe and secure. And in that vein, I want to ask you, what goals do you have personally with what you want to see in communities and in New York City and LA that you're working on?
Right. Well, some of my personal goals and things that I'm working on at this moment as a filmmaker, you know, and an actor, is to continue to create product that's going to, again, not only entertain and give a certain amount of escapism, because that's important too, to have a certain amount of entertainment, but, you know, also want to make sure that when I'm producing and offering is inspiring, something that's going to make you think, something that's going to inspire you to get to the next level. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling out, you realize that it's not over. As long as you have life and breath in your lungs, you can keep moving forward. One of the things that we are focused on through my company, Nation Business Builders, and that's providing naturopathic, holistic healthcare for the community. One thing that's very important is for us to get back to the land, get back to natural living, healthy living. You see a movement toward that in society, and sometimes it's a fad, but it's a real movement toward it. So we definitely are going to be on the front lines of providing people with the opportunity of getting back to nature, getting back to self. Because one of the most important things is anything that you focus on to achieve as your goals, it's important to be healthy. You have to be healthy, healthy body, support a healthy mind, healthy brain. So it all connects all around the board.
Absolutely. You know what? For our viewers watching, again, this is going to be at Marcus Garvey Park all summer long. And, you know, you can bring your kids there. They can be availed of the educational opportunity with the study technology so that they actually learn. They learn how to learn. Because, you know, if you don't learn how to learn, then you can't really obtain an education, even though you're in that classroom. You're not taking it in. And then with the Harlem Dream Shooter idea, that concept, I think it's fantastic. And, you know, Mr. Penix came up with this 1 in a million, where we're going to raise funds so we can help these kids get an education. And in one of the previous shows, you know, we had someone talk about how New York City used to have these Olympic sports events. They were discontinued, and we'll see if we can get those back and, you know, get, like you said, get all of this athleticism, discipline, education, and fun back into our New York City and all our cities, really. You know, we're getting near the end of the show, so I want to ask you, what would you like to leave as a concluding remark that you want to give our viewers about what you feel is important in today's world?
Right. Well, definitely education, and its various different forms. There's many ways to receive an education in this day and time. It's not just the traditional routes that we are known, but seek all the different routes. The information is out there. So anything you want to learn, it's out there at your fingertips to learn. So apply yourself and gain the knowledge, get the information. Then you can move forward in all other areas of life. And certainly health, like I mentioned before. If you want to have longevity and be successful, you must be healthy. So you have to take care of your temple. This is one of the things that makes sports really good, because it provides a certain amount of fitness, and there should be some nutrition to back the fitness. You look at someone like LeBron James, who's been very successful, but very successful for a long period of time, and doing things that we haven't seen done in the NBA in terms of longevity and being able to play at such a high level. That's because of his regimen. So being regimented and disciplined in health, fitness, nutrition, and education, learning as much as you can and combining it. And like you said, fun. At the end of the day, in the summertime, our youth want to have fun, and education can be fun. Certainly sports is fun, and fitness can be fun as well.
So well said. You know, the first time I met your friend Arnold Penix, my friend, I was really taken aback at his tremendous amount of talent and the variety of his abilities that he really has, and how he brings people together. And, you know, I want to take a moment here in our show to actually commend him, because he's really brought all of us together. And, you know, you've been with him a long time. So if you were to say a few words about Arnold Penix, what would you say about him?
Wow, man, that's a big question, because I can go on and on. Arnold changes lives. He changes lives, including my life. So I have firsthand experience, and I watch him do it selfishly, and I watch him do it without looking for anything in return. I watch him interject himself in people's lives and people's situation, whether it's to offer advice, offer a helping hand, and he will always give you an opportunity. If you say you want to do something or be something, don't tell him if you're not serious, because that moment will come where he will call you and said, hey, you said you wanted to be this or try this, and he will give you that opportunity. So my salute to Arnold, always highly appreciated, appreciative to him, my family as well, and just an all-around good person that changes lives and gives opportunities. So salute to my brother Arnold.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. That's what I found Arnold to be. and working with him with Drug Free World. And I wanted to mention one other man who actually now is the mayor of our city, Mayor Adams, and who actually about 5 years ago, as Brooklyn Borough President, declared a Drug-Free World Day. And so, you know, from Arnold Pinnock's, from you, you know, Born Allah, from me, Bernard Fialkoff, from Harlem Globetrotter, Robert Hunter, from the Honorable Johnny Ford, you know, and so many others here who are planning to bring sports back into New York City and bring it back so it gets discipline, community spirit. It helps bring in academics and education and decrease the violence that we've seen in the subways. So, Eric Adams, Mayor Adams, we're looking forward to meeting all of you and being with you, all our group. And Born Allah, we've reached the end of our show, but it's been a pleasure having you, and I love that video you made, and I look forward to this Harlem Dreamshooters this summertime.
Yes, thank you for having me, and thank you for bringing the truth.
Absolutely. And for those of you watching, you're invited this summer to 1 in a Million, A Slice of Knowledge, the Harlem Dreamshooters, Drug-Free World, at Marcus Garvey Park all summer long with Study Technology. See you there.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you're giving everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your feet